how we do it. This is how we do it. La, 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 la.
What is going on, everyone? I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and for this video I'm here to give you guys my review on Saints Row 4. Now in Saints Row 4 you finally made your way all the way to the top. That is right, you are now the president of the United States until an alien invasion occurs, and now it's up to you and your crew not only to save the Earth, but to stop this invasion once and for all. As for the graphics, how's the overall graphics in Saints Row 4? Well, honestly, the graphics are exactly the same as Saints Row 3, so there's not really an improvement there. The majority of the time as you're playing the game, you're going to be located in this dark environment the whole time, so pretty much this whole night cycle. The game unfortunately does not have a day or night cycle. However, if you do end up beating the game, you do end up unlocking a day cycle, so you can end up actually seeing the environments during the daytime, which actually looks a lot better than the night cycle. But the majority of the time, you're just in this dark environment, some buildings and stuff like that. You're going to notice throughout your playthrough that you're going to see these little glitches and things like that in the game. It's meant to be there because your character is involved in the simulation. Basically, it's more like the Matrix because this game features a lot of movie and video game references. So if you notice like little texture pop-ins or these little code glitches and things like that, that is meant to be there because you're part of the simulation. So it's basically like this coding that's not yet fully up to date. But in terms of the graphics, like I said, is exactly the same as Saints Row 3, so not really much of an improvement there. As for the gameplay, how's the overall gameplay? The gameplay is exactly the same as you've seen in Saints Row 3, but the only difference here is that now you have superpowers. That is right, superpowers. For example, super speed, the ability to throw fireballs, ice blasts, stomping powers, and even to lift stuff up with your mind using telekinesis with your character. That's the only big difference here because you're part of the simulation. It's just one big, basically like a giant matrix system. And so basically anything is possible in this game because this is a game that's not meant to be taken serious. But however, with this abilities, with the superpowers, to me, it makes the game way too easy because almost right off the bat in the beginning of the game, you basically have the superpowers right then and there, starting with super speed. Now in the game there is a variety of vehicles that you're able to drive, but honestly with super speed, what's the point of using a vehicle? And of course you do have all the crazy customizations you're able to do, just like you've seen in the past Saints Row game. So you're able to make a really nice unique looking character to your liking, or even a funny unique character. You could even download other people's characters that they've created on the network, which I think is really cool. You also have customization in terms of clothing options and vehicle customization, but that's the only thing that takes away from the game, because with the superpowers, what's the point of hacking into a garage and customizing your vehicle of your liking? There's no really point to that, unless if that's how you want to play it, then you do have that option. So like I said, gameplay is exactly the same. The other difference here is that unlike in Saints Row 3, where you go to the different shops and as long as you have enough money to buy that shop, in this one you're hacking into the different shops. So you have the gun shops, you can go and buy your ammunition and a variety of different weapons. You have the clothing shop that you get to hack into to provide you additional clothing as well. And of course, the clothing shop is, you don't have just one type of clothing shop. You have about 3 or 4 different ones, which are going to offer you a different in terms of clothing options that they have inside the store. You also have this really fun level. It's like a handicap level where you're basically in a one big ragdoll effect. Now this part is like really funny in the game because like I said, you're just one big ragdoll and you're throwing yourself onto oncoming traffic trying to collect basically handicap fees and things like that. It was really funny, but in terms of the gameplay, this game is not meant to be taken serious because this game is basically filled with all kinds of movie and video game references, a lot of humor within this game. Some moments were just kind of dull, but a lot of times you're going to be laughing and just all kinds of weird crazy stuff that happens in the game. But gameplay wise, like I said, it's exactly the same as Saints Row 3. The only difference here is that now you hack the different item shops and you have superpowers. As for the sound in Saints Row 4 is actually really good as well. What's cool is that you're able to go onto the option menu and select all kinds of different radio stations to listen to. So if you want to listen to certain music in the game, you do have that option, or you can listen to the basic stuff that plays automatically, which even that sounded really good as well. What's even cool is that they even brought back some of the radio stations that were taken out in Saints Row 3 but were featured in Saints Row 2. That is now in Saints Row 4, which I'm glad they brought that back because it's actually one of my favorite stations to listen to. But the overall sound sound is really good. Now the only issue I had in terms of the sound, especially on the PlayStation 3 version, is that a lot of times when there's a lot of going on, or even just at random times where the sound just like kind of cut out. Like, I know it wasn't meant there to be purposely, but it just like cut out to where I wasn't keeping up with the dialogue or the amount of action that was going on screen. But a lot of times I've seen that happen, at least on the PlayStation 3 version. As for the lifespan, what kind of lifespan do we see in Saints Row 4? Honestly, this game has a really good lifespan. Not only does this game feature a really nice character and vehicle customization screen, but if you're just focused on the main quest, that's going to take you about 5 to 6 hours to complete. That's just for the main story. Not only that, this game also has a wide variety of side quests to do, which will extend that for about another 2 or 3 hours on top of the 4 to 6 hours. And not only that, you're also able to conquer territory. If you notice on the map, you're going to have a ton of icons. That could be involving hijacking a vehicle, uploading a virus, defending a location, hacking in the stores, or climbing towers. You do have a lot of little stuff to do as well, and every time you claim territory, you're going to get points to that, and of course currency, which you could use to upgrade your weapons and abilities as well. Not only that, you could also play this game online with a friend, so you could choose to play with a random person or with a random friend. So you could choose to play with someone and completing the main story mode and even side quests. Pretty much anything they're able to do in the single player experience, you could do with a friend online. So basically, imagine you already with these superpowers and a friend or a random person with superpowers just going around the whole city and dominating everything, which the game is already easy enough. So if you're playing with a friend, then you're basically going to dominate the game faster than just a single player experience. But you do have all this variety of options, like I said, with the variation of character customization, vehicle options. So there's so much to do in the game, so much achievements. Not only that, like I said, this game's not meant to be taken serious, but probably one of the best things about it is all the movie and video game references that you're going to find in this game, and of course references to some of the past Saints games, which are really enjoyable and really nice to listen to. For example, like my playthrough, an example one, since I love the Metal Gear franchise, and one point of the game they reference the Metal Gear franchise in here, at least the basics from Metal Gear Solid, which I thought was pretty cool. And another time, the whole simulation that you're in, you could easily reference that too as the Matrix, and so many others. There's so much out there. It almost reminds me of the game not that long ago, for example, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, where that one was featuring stuff more like into the 80s. This one has a mixture of variety of different stuff. So basically, what's nice is the variety of customization, the amount of game time that you have, and all the references in the game that you're going to enjoy and keep coming back to for more. Last but not least is the innovative. Was there anything new here, or was this stuff that we already seen before? Honestly, this is stuff that we've seen before. Alien Invasion, a game that's not meant to be taken serious, all kinds of little references. Pretty much we've seen these in past games before. Now, the only gripes that I had with the game is that to me, this feels like one big DLC for Saints Row 3, just at a $60 price range. Not only that, at least on the PlayStation 3 version, like I mentioned earlier, with the sound issues, and of course my biggest gripe is that towards the final mission, the very last final mission, my PS3 froze on me a total of 5 times. Not only that, I've read reports that many of the users on the PC and 360 had this issue on the final mission as well. That was the only time the freezing occurred, was just on the final mission, which I'm sure they could probably fix with an update or a patch. But with that, I'm going to have to reduce the price just a couple points. So in the end, I'm going to give Saints Row 4 a 7 out of 10. If you guys would like to see the complete walkthrough, check the link down below. Anyways, I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion, and remember, Gamerfuzion empowers your gaming.